Woohoo! Welcome today to the PulseX live show. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Your host here, of course, Superman, and here on Hex Token channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we've got, normally I do like maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 topics. We're going to be doing, I don't know, about 10 topics, but they're all a bit shorter. So 10 times short equals long. So it's going to be pretty fun as well. We typically go for about an hour and 20 minutes. It's going to be pretty awesome. Welcome to the channel. And of course, we're just getting into the info. This channel is mainly on info. I'll offer a certain amount of opinions about through a few other things, I should say. I was just about to stammer that out, but it is really cool. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And of course, you want to join as a member of the channel, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechain, Hexkins, and the Richard Heart Club, 3 great clubs that you can join to support this channel as we promote Richard Heart projects in the years ahead. And obviously 2022, 2023 is going to be the year of virality and mass adoption as we're going to arc over into that mass adoption over these next 2 years. It's going to be pretty cool. Obviously, Hex is about 2.3 years old now, so really is starting to get into the main game. And of course, we're expecting big whales to come into the space. We're also expecting big retail adoption as well. So that is the expansion. It's early days yet, and man, oh man, oh man. Now, let's remind ourselves some of the key functionality of Hex, of course, is the share rate. The share rate makes it an even game. Over time, it equalizes the compound interest. So that is the real magic in Hex. So let's always remember that is that the T-share rate is a king in the old system there. So nice there in the fundamentals, looking good. Let's get into the chat and say hello. We got Fish Tank in the house. Woohoo! First in the house. Nice. It's now Hex Token channel member representing with the emojis, looking good. And man, do those emojis look so good in the chat. Looks so good. We've got Sandeep in the house. Lots of love and greetings from India. And, of course, Sandeep from Calcutta, a beautiful city in India with lots of diverse heritage in there. Nice, Sandeep. Welcome to the chat. Fish Tank's got Colombia in the house. Is that right, Fish Tank? I didn't realize you're Colombia. Wow. Colombia, beautiful, exotic over there in Latin America. Nice. It's definitely a continent I want to go to. In fact, I probably want to go to India at some stage as well. Got a friend over there in Calcutta. Be nice to jump over there as too. Cheers in the house. T-minus 3 minutes and counting. I love it. That's a good attitude. Brazology is in the house, another Hex Token channel member and a moderator. And not just on this channel, but probably on about 10 channels. Brazology is hard working out there for Pulsechain and Hex and the rest of it. So big hats off to Brazology. And of course, Brazology is the one who designed our woohoo emoji. So big shout out to Brazology as well. Jean-François Abortu is in the house. I love trying to say that, even though I can't speak French very well. It managed to get me watching movies as I grew up. It managed to get me through a few conversations that helped me in Switzerland when I was in Switzerland, and I was in Geneva there, not making any world deals or anything, but just trying to get myself buy a few people, find a hostel, things like that. And it's amazing. All the movies that you watch, a bit of French came out, and man, oh man, it helped. It just came out of nowhere, just going, oh wow, because it was pretty intimidating not being in an English-speaking environment. So there we are. It was all French signs there. Francia's in the house. Hello, Francia. Hello. And Alex K's in the house. Howdy all. Hey, great to see Alex K in the chat. Woohoo! Our head moderator representing with the full-on crypto knowledge. So nice one, Alex. Morris is in the house as well. Hi, guys. And we've got Crypto Tycoon, I should say. This PulseX Sacrifice is bittersweet for me. I'm rushing it, waiting for launch, but my birthday is February the 24th. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, 25th is the end. We got 2 hours, 2 days and 20 hours to go. We're counting it down. Alex says, I think it's pronounced François. Probably is, Alex. Probably is. And Alex Fame says, hello, Hex Token. Hey, Alex. Good to see you in the chat. And Francis is saying hi as well. So nice. All right. Welcome, everybody. Woohoo. All right. So let's get into it. We're going to represent here. And here we've got the Ultimate Cryptocurrency Showdown coming up. Peter Schiff to debate Hex founder Richard Heart on cryptos. This is by Vinod D'Souza here. That also seems like possibly a Calcutta name as well there. So very cool. And, of course, here's the cool picture. It's actually a pretty nice picture here. And you've got Peter Schiff on the left and Richard Heart on the right. The Ultimate Cryptocurrency Showdown. Now, this is actually getting quite a good amount of press and also getting good social media on Twitter. It's going to be a pretty big event in crypto. 2 big, well-known personalities as well. So nice there. Peter Schiff is often on TV getting interviewed around economics and gold and things like that. So pretty cool. Monetary supply, all that sort of good stuff there. He's been around for a very long time. All right, so chief economist Peter Schiff announced on Twitter that he would debate Hex founder Richard Hart on gold, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrencies. My problem, I think, for Peter is that Peter will not understand the share rate in Hex. And I think he's going to get ripped one big time from Richard Hart. So I think that's a big problem that Peter's going to have. So it's going to be fascinating to see that play out. If he is aware of the share rate, then he'll definitely need to change his tact if he goes into on that one. So the debate between Schiff and Hart is scheduled to take place on February 23rd at February 23rd at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. To be a part of the debate, you can register here, of course. So I'm going to post this link in the video in the chat there. So if you want to pick that up, bam, and we'll do that. Nice. Mark Pitts in the house says, I'm from Coffs in Australia. Hey, Mark, good to see you. And a big shout out to the Aussies out there. Alex says this debate will be fire. Well, absolutely. Yeah, let's see how it goes. They both can certainly, get into it. So it's going to be pretty fascinating. They both can really chop away, both these two chaps. Alex says, let's hope they keep it clean and gloves above the belt. Yeah, that's probably the only thing, Alex, as well. But, Peter Schiff won't back down. He's pretty stand up there. So this is really going to be the clash of the gold versus crypto, or gold versus Hex, if you want to put it that way. It's going to be pretty cool. Tira says, I also live in Colombia. Hey, big shout out to Colombians. And nice, great to see so many in the chat. Big time. All right, so cool. Let us just hide that one there. Let me go into here. So we've got this here. The event is dubbed the Ultimate Cryptocurrency Showdown, where the two will sit down for a raging debate. A previous rundown between Schiff and Hart can be read here. So it's obviously pretty cool. Now, Peter Schiff has not held out already. He's already started goading Richard straight off the bat. This is great, right? You want people that are willing to come for you. That's going to be good. Now, I've officially thrown down the gauntlet on Hex, knowing that Richard Hart has already picked it up and agreed to debate me, not just about Hex, but about cryptocurrencies in general, Bitcoin in particular, and gold. Secure your place here. So Schiff says a veteran stock market and gold trading analyst has been skeptical in crypto, suggesting that its bubble might burst in the future. Now Schiff is also head of his global economics company as well, so a little bit of a bio missing there. On the other hand, Hart firmly believes that cryptos are the future and can generate better returns to people than the traditional markets. Now, obviously, Schiff's big around gold, and obviously the chart's not that great over decades. It's a pretty poor-looking chart, and I think that he's going to have a hard ask, if you ask me. Hart and Richard don't think alike and have their own thought processes about the future of finance. Schiff has previously challenged Bitcoin billionaire Mike Novogratz for debate, but that didn't go through. Hex's Hart was a critical opponent of Schiff, and regularly took him down on Twitter, challenging him for a debate. Now, this is the fight's already on, folks. Peter Schiff hit out at Richard Hart already. Schiff recently poked fun at Hex, saying people that have not invested in it are the real winners. He called all Hex worthless in this latest tweet. So straight away, it's out with the axe. I love this stuff. And Peter Schiff says Hex is a cryptocurrency based on proof of weight, where suckers are rewarded for locking up their tokens so that those who got in early can cash out. The only ones who benefit from the weight are those who don't. In the end, those who do will be left holding a bag of worthless Hex. So I love that sort of challenge there. Obviously, he does not understand the share rate inside Hex, which is really that game changer feature there. Hex is a cryptocurrency based on proof of weight. And of course, what did Richard come back here? We'll just scroll down from there. Someone else asked him, ask him where does the 40% yield of Hex come from? It comes from printing new Hex tokens. You got him a debate over. Obviously, they don't understand the inflation and the share rate there, so that's cool. Of course, it's not a real CD. It's a fraud. Well, it's Hex is a supercharged CD, so that's pretty much what Hex is. There is no interest earned or to pay out. New Hex is just created out of thin air and paid to those stakers a stake in their tokens. So everyone has more, but the supply grows by the same amount. There is no net gain. It's like a stock split. Now, he obviously doesn't understand about the deferred inflation as well. So not only do you have the share rate, but you have people staking out long. And of course, we know it's 6.22 years. So inflation itself is staked on, and therefore future inflation on inflation is also staked out further. So he doesn't understand those two features as well. That's because Hex is revolutionary, right? So, and he's not really done his work on it. So it's going to be fascinating to see Rich Richard deal with him on that one. I don't think he'll understand what Richard's saying at the time. Maybe when you're in a debate like that, it's sometimes a bit hard to see what the other person's saying. We'll find out. Peter's obviously a smart guy. We'll see whether his bias blocks him from learning. It's going to be pretty fascinating. He also asked people to tune in to debate with Richard Hart, where he said he'll educate the importance of gold. Now, I've officially thrown down the gauntlet on Hex, knowing that Richard Hart will win. Already picked it up and already agreed to debate me, not just about Hex. And, of course, that's cool. Now, Richard's replied here to this goading, of course. Everyone be nice to Peter. I debate him live in a few days, and I want him happy. So nice little a soft jab back there from Richard there after that big hard uppercut or something like that, whatever you want to see. So very, very cool. So that's what's coming up, folks. It's already heating up, and it's on the 23rd. So I've given you the link in the video description, so definitely follow that. It's going to be pretty badass. But, folks, let's get on to the main event. We're going to catch up to some of the comments here. Let's go. Let me just make sure I'm up to date here. All right, we've got hi Mark. What else we got? Here in Colombia, you can spend crypto just about everywhere. BTC ATMs, most stores accept crypto. BTC signs in most stores. Hey, that's fantastic, Fish Tank. And what else we got going there? Fish Tank says, in fact, you can buy crypto via WhatsApp and send a message with your crypto address. They send it to your address, then stop by your house to pick up the cash. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. And Francis says South at Hex Marari. And what else we got? Hex Marari's in the house says, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Do you all hear that Truth Social launched? Yeah, so Truth Social has launched, folks. If you want to get free speech platform, I will be joining Truth Social with a lot of my friends. So get out there and join Truth Social. No, there's no big overlord trying to impose their worldview on you. So download that. You want free speech. It's for everybody. For everybody's free speech. So get on that one. Francis says, sounds good. Sounds good. And nice. All right, let's jump over, folks, to the next one. We're going to PulseX live. Here we are, folks. So this is PulseX. Sacrifice rate will increase by 5%. So the sacrifice rate will increase by 5% in 19 hours and 42 minutes. So that is counting down. And, of course, we're on day, what are we on, day 57 or 59? Can you believe it? We've got two days and 19 hours and 42 minutes left. And then it's going to end on the 25th at pretty much 00 UTC time there. The current rate of course is 10,000 points for $8.99. So your base points is 10,000 points for $8.99. That's 9x what it used to be. It used to be $1. Now it's basically $9. And of course you're now got a flat rate volume multiplier bonus, which is 1.75. So your base points times your volume multiplier gives you your total amount there. So here it is on the old chart here. We can see that we've only got two days and 20 hours left sitting in the space here. We're on day 57 and we're at $8.99. Mind blowing, right? Pretty fascinating. So let's jump over to the site here. If you are going to sacrifice, this is pulsex.info. This is the official site. So use this link if you are going to sacrifice. As I always say, it's probably better off sacrificing for buying Hex on the market now and getting your copy over onto the Pulsechain. But in any case, if you're determined to sacrifice at this stage, we'll get onto what the rate is in a second. But this will be the sacrifice address here. The link's in the video description. If you're doing Ethereum or any Ethereum smart chain, then this is the official address, OX075 and DTC8. I typically suggest using some of the popular tokens there, ETH, BNB, Hex, of course, stable coins, USDC, etc. Lots of good ones. If you want to use Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash or something like that, just follow steps 1 to 3. You'll be able to get an address to send that to. And if you're a little nervous, send a little bit and then send your total amount once you're happy that the first little amount went through. That's pretty much it. So cool. That is the official app. Let's jump over to the actual rate. We're going to scroll down. My goodness, we are towards the end. It's unbelievable. And of course, day 55 was when the Origin account sacrificed. And man, it was at about 308 billion Hex sacrificed, man. Remember the Hex, the Origin wallet sacrificed about 308 billion Hex, and worth close to $50 billion. I think it was about 49.7 or something like that. And of course, that was on day 55, and that's pretty much given 85% of the supply. The other thing, of course, is that we haven't seen anything since then. And finally, we estimate that probably Origin wallet's probably got about 560 billion, somewhere around that mark of the Hex value, Hex total supply. And the Hex total supply is about 638 billion. So it gives you a big idea of how much controlled by the Origin account. And it's basically moved to take control of PulseX and Pulsechain. And of course, we see it as a feature and a benefit of these ecosystems. It helps to give us that big support and can influence certain measures. Like in particularly in Hex, it's got a lot more measures in Hex that it can control or influence. And that is, like the APY, the inflation rate, effective inflation rate, I should say, and things like that. So the Origin account has a lot of benefits and is seen as a feature and a benefit. So pretty cool. Obviously, we're in day number 57. So the rate is $8.99, which means that now for every dollar you sacrifice, you'll get $1. You get 1,948 PulseX points. So that's cool. And of course, tomorrow it's going to be jumped from $8.99 to $9.43. Can you believe it? And then finally, in the last day, in 2 hours and 20, or at least in the next another day and 20 hours, the rate will jump to the final one, day 59, the $9.91 on the 25th, and that's the end. So pretty impressive. By that time, the points will be 1,767 per dollar. So that's the rate. That's the rate sheets, folks. And good luck to you. As I said, I do suggest that you look probably at buying Hex at this case, as I've said many days now, and get a copy of that rather than PulseX Sacrifice. Once again, also another suggestion is you could keep some dry powder for any of the pullbacks when Pulsechain launches. There's always pullbacks in the market, so you definitely look for buying opportunities, maybe to pick up more PulseX, more Pulse, and Hex itself. So cool. There's some of the cool things going on there. So that is the rate there. So that's PulseX. We've got one final page. I've actually updated the pumpamentals here for some of these things like ETH, Uniswap, BNB, Sushi Swap, Cake, and stuff. So I've got the latest prices in here. I'll put those in this column, the latest prices on these that at least before the live stream. So we can see the launch price to the price now. So the launch price to the price now. We've got launch price down here, and of course we can see that ETH is at 934x, Uni's at 4.3x, BNB's at 3,389x. And of course, we've got Sushi at 1x at the moment from the launch price, and 23x for Cake at the moment from the launch price, and almost 4 for QuickSwap there as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the time. That obviously you got to play over time. The people that's pretty much stake the longest, accumulate volume by staking, stuff like that, will end up doing the best. This is going to way it's going to be. We've got the whales getting these kind of prices. We've got 404. For the whales, so 10x would be 0004 in prices, pretty similar for PulseX and Pulsechain. So this is kind of the X's that we're gonna get some interesting gaming going on. Just trying to get above this line. We know that the small fry at the end, pretty much 0001 mark, kind of around there. So it's going to be interesting to see where the price goes for Pulse and PulseX on the launch. It's going to be pretty crazy. We could easily see some of these prices like this, 10 and 20x, spike up. It's just where it's going to actually average out for a while after the big launch is going to be the fascinating time. So pretty cool. But we're going to all be chasing some of these things here. We also got the offer price, of course, for Ethereum. The offer price 30 cents, and of course the market price now 2,616. So the all-time high was pretty interesting, 4,878 for Ethereum, with a launch price of 30 cents. That's a 16,260x. So it's pretty badass. The BNB, of course, is pretty badass too. The all-time high 686 versus the launch price 6,239. You can see that Cake and Uni also pretty good, about 150 or so X on there, pretty nice, and QuickSwap pretty good, 36X. So some pretty good X's there as well. And of course, many other projects have launched with pretty good X's as well. So we'll see where we get here, and 150X somewhere in here. Could be a pretty good price. You're looking at 004 to 008, somewhere in that ballpark. And then, of course, this is from the whales perspective, and that's about a 4080x from a small fry, small retail perspective, the 4080x. So that marries up pretty well with some of these numbers. And of course, if we get the much better X's here, let's say 1000x, for example, it's a 400x for the small players at 4 cents there. 1000x for the whales there. So some interesting numbers for sure. So that pretty much is PulseX and some of the pumpamentals that people sacrificing for in the future. So I think that's pretty cool just to round up that. We're going to jump over to the Hex price now. But before we do that, let's get into the chat and see what's going on in the chat there. Francesca's Pennsylvania. And what else we got going? So Sandra in the house. Is Sandra in the house? Hey, Sandra. Sandra's in the house. That's right. Hi. And Brazil says $9 for 10,000 points. Woo! Yeah, that's right. What else we got going there? And a Jimbo six is in the house. Hex Token channel member with all the emojis. Nice. G'day all. Glad Hex Token's on. I was just over at Quant Gang and is carrying on like a steak. He needs stitches. Steak he needs. Is that a steak? Yeah, I think it is. Is that a steak? I'm trying to see what that is. A cut of meat, yeah, steak, yeah. Yeah, I was watching a little bit of Quant Gang. Popped in there a couple of times. There was pretty serious drama going on there around some of the projects. We're actually going to quickly cover those later on, and I'm going to talk about a few interesting things. Maybe some things haven't been raised about those, so we're going to pop that up a bit later. We're talking about so many topics today, folks. It's going to be a really fun variety show today for sure. And Sandra says, pound the like button. I love it, Sandra. You smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the bell. Share around if you can the video and the channel. Really does help. Of course, we're going to keep promoting Richard Hart projects. That is the core. It doesn't mean that we're not going to cover a few other projects as we do, like liquid loans, things that fit in the ecosystem, things that make sense, because we don't want to distract capital off into different areas, right? We're trying to grow Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX, and of course, we like other new projects, but we really want to get the ones that fit in well and build out that global crypto domination. So we've got to be careful about where we allocate capital to. Is my biggest thing on that. Sandra says Hex family, absolutely, Sandra, I love it. With lots of hearts there. Now, Fish Tank says Hex Token, you're always welcome in South America. I appreciate that. Big shout out. Yeah, South America just looks like a great place to visit the people as well. Yeah, many places there, right? So it's got a lot of variety, just like most places when you're a giant continent like that. Very cool. So let's jump into the Hex here. We've got the Hex price at 15 cents at the moment. And of course, we have actually come down from the low here, which this is the hourly chart on the Hex. And this is version 3 USD on Uniswap. And we're up just under 6% here. So an increase in the last 7 hours. We've actually bounced back 6% there. We're back into the middle of the Bollinger Bands on the hourly there. Let us go back up to the daily here and zoom out, have a bigger perspective. So we've got the Bollinger Bands here. This is kind of a TA. We've got the 95% at the top, the 5% at the bottom. We are riding the bottom of the 5%. As I typically say, mate, we might typically ride that, say, 3 times, maybe up to 5 times, and then bounce off that. It's very rare to get 5's not so common, but 7 is far less common to have it riding down the bottom of Bollinger Bands that long. Does happen, of course, and sometimes you can get some weird stuff, but we're just talking about out on the average typically. You can see at the top here, we only bounced off the top there a bit here. You can see we're only here for, maybe 3-5 days in the year, bouncing off this on the daily, so you can sort of see what I mean by that. So bodes well. So 15, we actually, the low today, which is 14.2 cents. Can you believe it? So definitely once we break that triangle, we're going to check that out in a second. But that's where we're at. So let's go and bring in our structure. And then we're going to zoom back out and get the big picture now as we go. We've only got, like I say, 2 days and 19 hours or so to go for PulseX finishes. That's that purple vertical line. Let me just get rid of my my banner as I talk about this. So, and I'll get rid of the comment as well, just so not getting in the way there. All right, so cool. And so we got about 2 days to go there, 2 days and 20 hours, and before we get to the end of PulseX. And then, of course, we've got these the idea that we could possibly launch 5th to the 18th. Now, I'm going to delete the 5th because I just don't think that's in play anymore. And the 18th, I'm now moving that to the 24th. So that's the earliest date that I see for the Pulsechain launch there. So I love doing this live. I'm doing this live here. We're going to, let's say, 4 weeks now. So Pulsechain launch 4 weeks. So that's when we're taking information, and I'm going to show this on the timelines at the end of today's live stream. Hold on to the end because that's going to have the updated timeline. So I'm just briefly updating that here. So we're translating. We're expecting the big price boom. They're still expecting that, despite the price at the moment. We're expecting the price. In fact, it's even more likely with the price lower because when whales come in to buy, they can get so much more Hex. So that's not a big deal. In fact, the whales are just happy, smiling when they can get a cheaper price to push the price up and get so much more Hex. They'll be very happy about that, right? It's a good transaction for them. Much better for them buying at this price range than 20 cents or 25 cents. They get just that much more, and then they control more of the supply. From a whale's point of view, that's a big deal. All right, so cool. That is what we got at the moment. We did. This was the big thing. So we did break our big angular support there. So we've broken that, and that was broken at about 15.5 cents. And of course, we got down to 14.2 cents. So that now has invalidated that, but it's not all over Rover. We've got a couple of really positive things still in support. And of course, we want to hold those lines, that's for sure. And that is, we've got the price support here that we previously hit, which was down here at about 12.5 cents. So we've still got this the support line here, 12.3, 12.5 cents, and this mark here as support. So cool. And at the bottom of that is also maybe 11 cents. So we've got definitely around the 12-cent mark here. That's that price support. So if we do keep coming down, we can come back and hit that. So it's not straight down to 10 cents and then down to 7.5 cents or something like that. It's down to this support that we had previously. So we'd bounce off that. So do we have some support there? That's pretty nice. And of course, we've got the end of the PulseX. I did say for the last couple of days that we're probably just going to either move sideways or just break down, and we broke down. And of course, that's where we ended up here. So yeah, we had the chance of riding up this line, support line, and we did do that for 2 days. We did do it for 2 days, but then we broke down through, and of course, that means now we've got to see the fact that this 12-cent mark is kind of in play now as we move forward. It's not inevitable, but that's kind of our next support line there. And of course, we've still got to break out of this triangle here. So we need to break out of this resistance line. So we break out of that. That's much more bullish. So we'll keep looking out for that price signal as we go. And of course, we may have to translate our price thing over here. But I'm still, about a week out here. So that's sort of the breakout that looks good to me at the moment. This sort of zone here that looks quite reasonable to expect. Let's go over to the RSI, and we'll pull that up first. And of course, we've got plenty of room now for a rally. We've kind of hit the bottom here, and you see we often just jump out of this bottom here. We don't stay too much time down the bottom there. We sort of spike out. So this is actually kind of good because you can see we spiked up out of there. We spiked up out of there. So it bodes pretty well for the next couple of days, maybe a couple of days more to see that. So that's quite good too. The DMI, of course, we want to see this play out. We have got the opposite, unfortunately. But the momentum is almost in the right direction. It's 24.42 now, but that's the direction is in selling. Selling is dominated, not buying. So we want the reversal of this. The reversal of this, of course, we've got the opposite. This is not what we want, and we'll be waiting for a nice reversal around that. So you could see that here. We had this selling here and the buying here, but we want to get this reversal here. This is what we want to see happen. So that's what we were waiting for at this stage. So cool. So yeah, our biggest probably savior is the 12-cent line, and of course moving past the PulseX Sacrifice, and then of course we want to hear some news about Pulsechain Testnet 3 as probably the next thing. But the real catalysts, of course, are going to be the block height fork and of course the mainnet itself. So those are the two catalysts, and how we get news from Richard about that is going to be the key bit there. So that's what we're waiting for, folks, in terms of the fundamentals. So we could see a bit of drifting still over the next couple of days. Is what we can reasonably expect in these climates. I think that's pretty clear with everything here. We could even bounce around here for a little bit more before we move up, but that's where we're at the moment. So cool. All right, so let's jump out of that. We're going to jump to the markets. Fortunately, the markets have actually come back a little bit. Have had 3 waves down, haven't they? Bitcoin was at like 44, went down to like 40, then went to 48, then went to 46, and now it's back up near 48. So it's had a nice little bounce back off this. And of course, if it can climb back over 40, hold over 40 for a while, that's pretty positive. We want to stay in this zone. We don't want it to go too low, folks. As I said, we've got 2 effects. We've got the wealth effect and the income effect. And of course, this is affecting the wealth effect. In other words, all the assets you own, whether you own property, stocks, bonds, crypto, whatever you own in assets, gold, minerals, whatever you're holding old, you want to keep the value of that up because you can use that to transfer to somewhere else, or you can leverage that as well. So there's a couple of options you got with that. But of course, incomes is also can be important over time. Income is important over time that you've got good incomes. But we're not talking about incomes at the moment. We're just talking about the assets. Obviously, if there's those are the kind of things we're thinking about. So we want to keep crypto kind of half bear. What I call half bear. We know that Bitcoin was up at 68, so we're down 30K from that or whatever. So we want to stay in that ballpark, in half bear market or half bull market. A lot of people saying half bear because we're coming on the decline, right? So it's more of a half bear market. So just taking that into account there as well. So, but it's nice to see the bounce back, right? That's positive. We can take the 3-4%. hopefully we'll get a few more days of it as well. Obviously, Russia's moved into the Russian supporting 2 areas of that support the Russian community there in the break-off areas of the Ukraine. So that's a big risk that's happened there. We've also got inflation and oil prices, lots of things. We've talked about this before. We're not going to get too much into it, but we've got all those issues just playing out there at the moment as well. And of course, in March we've got the Fed with the interest rate rises. That's our next thing to come up too. But of course, we've got a little while to go. It's the 23rd of February now. But that's definitely something in the horizon that we've got to look through. So we're going through in a volatile period at the moment, and that's where we're at. But of course, we want to keep up this market around these asset values at the moment. It would be a preferable than a low market. All right, let's jump over to the next topic. Before we do that, we're going to get in the chat. We're going to go jump to liquid loans next. I just got to find out where I got up to because I took away all my markers in the chat there. So that's a bit crazy. Let us get back into the topic here. I got up to Jimbo Sticks in the house. Hex Token channel member, representative. Love. And we got pound the like button from Sandra. I was up to that. And we got up to Fish Tank. You're welcome in South America. I appreciate that. That was really nice. And what else we got? Corey Klein. Hex Token, I have a couple of questions. Can you give an explanation on how there is an extra 20% for each year staked? Also to receive payouts from penalties. Okay, so the 20-year staked. So Hex has, believe it or not, so remember this, Hex has a 364-day year. No, it can't be true. It's true. It's a 364-day year, not 365. And of course, you get 20% per year for 365 days. You add all those up. And that ends up to be 3,640. So 3,641 days is the maximum benefit you can get there. So that's how that works. And of course, what that does, it's an incentive for you to stake longer. That's what it's designed for. So it really does give you an incentive to do that. So hopefully that explains that part there, Corey. To receive payouts from penalties, how long do you have to be staked? So you can be staked for 1 day. You'll get whatever the penalties go into the reward pool each day. So each day, penalties go into a reward pool. It's distributed out based on the S-load function by how many shares you've got versus all the shares. So how many shares have you got versus the total amount of T shares? We know we've got 10.735, I think it is, a million T shares, I should say, a million. So about 10.7 million T shares. So whatever T shares, if you've got T shares, versus all that is your share that you're going to get of the reward pool. That's going to have the Hex inflation in it, and it's also going to have the 50% of the penalties that go to stakers from people early in staking or late in staking fees. That's how that works. So hopefully that explains that to you. So really, that's why the more T shares you got, the better. Those people that decide to stake longer get 20% more each year they stake, and that gives them a higher effective Hex when they stake it. And then you divide that by the share rate. And of course, that would be giving you the amount of T shares that you're going to get. So it's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. All right, Corey. So nice. And hopefully that's answered that one, Corey. I've got a few comments here. Brazosius big pump by the start of next month. Yes, we got that. We're going to jump back to that because that's Hexology's got that on the house. So we'll put that back up. We'll go full screen and we've got Brazology here. A big pump here. Let me just, what was that? The third? Let me refresh this because it keeps falling off. The dates keep falling off this Dex Tools chart here. Even though I think it's using TradingView, a TradingView API probably anyway or something. We'll just hopefully that's going to pick up there. We're sitting at 15 cents. Like I said in today's daily vid, man, what a great price to pick up more Hex. Man, oh man, before the Pulsechain, people were selling before the Pulsechain. Oh my gosh, they're not going to get a copy. They're mad. They're completely mad. I heard Kinetics on a video about marketing earlier today saying that they're mad. They are mad. Selling before the PulseX. We're going to have hundreds of thousands and potentially a couple million people coming onto Pulsechain. Hex is going to be one of the golden products. It's kind of crazy, right? We've got big whales coming. We've got retail virality adoption happening. I mean, it's just insane. People are selling out, just crazy. Well, good luck to them. Good luck to them. Anyway, so there we are. So we've got Brazology here on the 4th of March. Let me just get rid of that Brazology's comment there. We've got the 4th of March here, Brazology. And that's for the nice price pump there to all-time highs. But we'll have to adjust it, Brazology. I'm sure you agree, as information comes in. That's all we do with the charts. We just take the information we have at hand and make adjustments for that. Sandra's got, yes, what else we got? BJM says, will PHEX launch at 0? It will, just technically it will launch at 0. And Sandra says, you are in Colombia. Oh, I've read that one. Correct. One more. Isn't there something about needing to stake at least the average of 6 years to receive a better payout? That's right. So, Corey, every year that you stake, you'll get a better payout. If you do about a year-long stake, you'll get about 11% at the moment. I think it's about 11%. If you do the average stake, which is 6.2 years, you'll get about 38%, somewhere like that ballpark. If you do a longer stake, you're staking 10 years out with the maximum effective, you're probably getting somewhere like 42%, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe slightly higher. So hopefully that helps you, Corey. The longer you stake, the better the yield. But I'm saying to this that people that stake out longer it's going to be better than people could even dream. If you're long-term staking, particularly after the 6.2 years at the moment, you are going to be crazy earning so much of the Hex. It's going to be crazy for sure. It's going to be pretty badass. And Corey says, I hope that answers that one, Corey. Let me have a jump around here. We've got a couple of comments. So people having a lot of conversations. I've got to jump through those. And I think Corey's got another one here. And for your information, the other night, right after your show, I went balls deep and staked 555 to lock in T-shares. I'm loving the T-shares. Hey, well done, Corey. And of course, with the 10 years, you got the max bonus 200% more Hex for your effective Hex. When you stake, your effective Hex is divided by the share rate, and you get the number of T-shares. And of course, those next 5 years, year 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that's when you make the super returns on the Hex out there. So well done to that one, Corey. On getting the max out of that for sure. There won't be that many T-shares left in the future. Also, I believe that by the time we get to about 2025, 2026, we're going to have so many early in-stake penalties depending on what the price of Hex is. So I think the in-stake penalties will rise with the price of Hex, and I think that's a reasonable proposition, and we've seen that many times. We've seen that through the life so far, 2.3 years of Hex. I think that's quite reasonable, and therefore a lot of penalties will be coming to those who stake, and the T-shares are going to decline. T-shares are going to decline, and the returns are going to go up, and of course you're going to be mad crazy. You're going to be rising through the ranks. I don't know whether you started off as a little shrimp, you'll be rising up through. Before you know it, you'll be a tonguing turtle or a dolphin or something. It's just going to be crazy. Those are holding T-shares in the future because the rates is going up and to the right on the T-share rate. It really is cool. It's a great way of evening out when people come in during the life cycle, right? Now, obviously, that excludes the price of Hex. So obviously, the Hex price itself will benefit certain people at certain times. So you've got to take that into account too. But as we saw in Bitcoin, Bitcoin used to be worth, $30 or $1. And now, of course, it's been as high as 68,000. So that's the whole idea, right? So it's going to be interesting to see that play out in the Peter Schiff debate with Richard Hart, because I'm sure Richard's going to bring a lot of that stuff to the table. And of course, the worst thing that that Peter Schiff's got is the actual price chart of gold is pretty dismal. Especially when you adjust it for inflation. So that's going to be a slaughterhouse in my view. I really do feel for Peter. He's arguing from a weak position. And of course, his only argument is that if the world ends, then everyone's going to want gold, right? So that's his end. But there is another step before gold, even if you believe that narrative. And that, of course, they're not only the alternative of crypto, particularly Bitcoin, Hex, and things, but also the fact that the UN can issue certain paper rights. And of course, we've never tested that out, but that could go to that too. So we'll see where that goes. Fish Tank says, in Midland. Let me jump through here. Corey says, I'm loving the T-share part. Nice, yeah. Almost 6 per T-share. Now, the reason why it's gone below 6, but we're getting just under, it was actually about 5.998. Somewhere in that ballpark, and then we got penalties over top, so we're getting over 6 Hex a day per T-share. The reason why it's gone below that, of course, is because the Hex Godwell went and staked that 15.2 year stake, and of course got 149,150 T-shares there, and of course that means that there were more T-shares in pool. We jumped from 10.6 million T-shares to over 10.735 million T-shares, and of course that increase in T-shares means that the reward pool that has the Hex inflation and the penalties in it has to get divided by more shares. So that's why the Hex payout has gone down there. So fascinating stuff. All right, so let's have a look here, and it's now says you get pay penalties that are charged to early in stakes. That's right. And BJM says buy EHEX at 15 cents before snapshot. or wait and save up for your fiat for a PHEX will launch at 0 and get away with more hex. No, that's not how it works there, BJM. So it's going to originally be priced at 0, but the AMM bot's going to harvest all the dexes and price up the market with ratios. Then as soon as the bridge opens up, then we're going to get US dollars fiat coming in addition to the copies of fiat that are on Pulsechain, which are unknown values at this stage. And of course, that's going to value up. The price is going to be pretty crazy. The beginning, even when that opens up, it's going to be pretty crazy. So once it's no one really knows, right? So it's not worth me giving you an idea that. But we're, some people are expecting to go to parity. Some people are expecting PulseX to be at a premium. So whatever happens at the beginning of that price chart, it's going to be crazy. And then of course it's going to settle at something. And of course there's going to be lock pool between Hex and EHEX and PHEX there on the chain. So it's going to be fascinating to get out. No one knows. But I imagine that they'll probably be, I'm probably in the camp that there'll be a premium for PHEX there. So let's say that the simple way of saying it is if we divide the price at the moment, so 15 cents would be about 7.5 cents on both chains. And then, of course, you might want to shift down. Maybe EHEX goes down to 7 cents and PHEX goes up to 8 cents or something like that. You got to think about that. The market's going to decide. It's going to be crazy time, and it's not really something we can easily estimate there. Obviously, we know Hex on ethers at the moment. That's the only solid information we have, and the market's telling us at the moment it's 15 cents is what it's worth. Of course, and the market that price is affected by Hex OG selling. We saw quite a few heavy Hex OG selling, and that's how we got down to here. And of course, then we obviously need more buyers to buy that price up. And of course, when Hex OGs go out, they exit, they go that way unless they buy back in, and typically they're going to buy back in a higher price, right? So we'll watch that play out. For sure. It's now says, and yes, get the max share rate for your stake. It has to be longer than the average stake length. Yes, that's correct. So if you want a higher payout, and then that's the case, you basically get more T shares in that way to get the higher return. Sandra says we need to refer to it as properly instead of currency. Well, that's probably true too, Sandra. Is it because a lot of places, it depends where you're taxed, but a lot of people do get taxed as a property, but the tax department doesn't decide, even in some jurisdictions, doesn't decide what you call that property. Obviously, Hex is tradable, move it around, but I really see it as more of an asset. So probably property in those regards is right, but it is a currency. It's quite traded a lot, swapped around a lot on the exchanges, swapped around between people. But you're right. There's not like a currency in the sense that people are buying and selling goods with it. At this stage, at least, there's a couple of things you can probably buy with Hex, but really more is asset orientated, as you say. So nice comment. Fish Tank says asset. Yeah, assets is probably yeah. I know they're kind of synonyms for each other in some ways, but yeah, I kind of like the asset phrase. A great tool says it's now, and new things in the house. Woohoo! Hey man, rockets and diamonds. I love it. Yeah. Richard Art, man. I love how he drops stuff in his conversations like that. And Corey Klein says, cool, thank you. It helps me to understand and explain to others. Hey, great stuff there, Corey Klein. And new thing says Hex OA dress sacrifice PulseX is good or bad? Good. So we knew that it was just going to transfer. Like I said to you, I gave the numbers out at the beginning of the live stream, but there's 638 billion Hex in total. The Origin account controls, give or take, about 560 billion, somewhere in that ballpark. That's circulating supply. That excludes the staked Hex that the OA's got. And of course, we're waiting for updated numbers from Gunther, the accountant. So this is why I'm giving you, estimates here. But, that's sacked up 308 billion of that. So it's got about 560 or thereabouts. It's sacrificed about 308. And of course, what was it, 113 or so was actually from the Pulsechain sacrifice that just switched over, just nice and easy. That surprised a few people because they thought that would be more separated out. But of course, it was just the easiest thing to do. Ultimately, the OA pretty much acts in, and the sacrifice wallets will act in favor of Hex, Pulsechain, and PulseX. We see them as a feature and a benefit and a fundamental rather than anything else. So we've seen the OA behavior in Hex, and it's been fantastic. Help with liquidity pools, help with AA lobby, help with the big payday. help with the protect stakers. It helps with the staking and the APY, helps with lower inflation. It's super duper good. It really, really is good. We haven't seen it sell anything, so it looks like it's only there for the betterment of the staker class. So if you're a staker class, you're going to get rewarded. Richard's going to reward, if you think Richard from his project design is going to reward the staker class and the sacrifices, right? So, obviously no work expectation of others, but the design is designed that way. So cool. It's a very good thing. Well, now, obviously, Pulsechain and PulseX, the PulseX will domination there. If it's got 85% of the PulseX, will be able to control the DAO, the incentive DAO, and then decide the tokenomics. I think that's great because if you trust a lot of other people to do stuff, you get perverse outcomes, especially from whales. And of course, now having this super Kraken whale, as we might call it, or Kraken in the house, that basically stops the big whales from manipulating outcomes. In other words, allocating incentive tokens to particular reward pools that they control and own. And so it really is quite cool. So really, really good benefit there, new thing. Good question, though. Good question. Man, Bali's in the house. Hey, everybody, late again, 2 days in a row. Woo! Hey, you're late, but you're here. And that's all that counts, Matt. And Sandra says, do you think Hex will drop at launch of Pulsechain? I think EHEX will probably drop a little bit there, Sandra. I think it will get accumulated up. As I say, there's the arbitrage between the annual percentage yield rates. So the returns there that people will get, I think that will actually hold them relatively steady. Once we have to get through the volatility, it's going to be mad volatility. We know that's going to happen. It happens all the time when we've got everything dropping at once. It is a big deal. So no one can know. No one can predict what that's going to be. So it's very hard to see. But yeah, we do have Hex reference there at 15 cents at the moment. Whatever it's going to be when mainnet launch, that will be the reference at the time. So our best estimate. Sandra says, like. Yeah, definitely like up there. And what else we got go? Sandra says, they can drop the price of gold. It's so easy to manipulate. China has tons, so does Russia. That's right, Sandra. And there is a lot more gold than official number golds. Yeah, I've done a lot of research on that in the past. Poor Man's Investing says gold won't pass 2,200 this year. And I plan to buy mine back at 1,700 with Hex interest. Nice one there, Poor Man. Hey, there's nothing stopping you from getting a bit of gold. Hey, it's always a good thing to have a bit of gold in your stuff. So if you want to get a bit of gold, get a bit of gold. But like I say, I think that's probably a good summary there from Poor Man. Sandra says you are good explaining all of this. I really appreciate you. Hey, Sandra, appreciate that. Very nice words. Thank you so much. And Francis got the woohoo. Yeah, nice one. And Hodl says, what is the address to see the liquid loan set leader? But we're going to that soon. That's where we're going next. Hodl 609. We're going there next. So we're going to the liquid loans. That's where we're going. That's our next topic. And Tafrin says, I'm here as well, fam. Hey, Tafrin, great to see you in the house. And Nice Man says, new thing. Nice Man. Smash the Bell says, Matt and Bali, absolutely. And BGM says, with the OA sacrificing so much, this making the total supply way bigger. Doesn't that mean that it will take longer for our bags to pump due to such a large total supply? No, because we consider it inactive liquid. So an active liquid pulse, an active liquid PulseX, it only activates and maybe activate to the betterment of the system. But I actually think that under Pulse and PulseX is going to act a bit different. It's really going to be about controlling, stopping whales from manipulating too much the pools. And of course, in PulseX, the incentive DAO. So it's going to be cool. I wouldn't worry too much about it there, BJM. Also good for market cap if you want to look at it from that point as well. Matt and Barley says smash the bell. So let's smash the bell. Let's get into liquid loans since we had a request that was on the thing. Hodl 609, let us go. And here we are, liquid loans. Woohoo! Yeah. Now, why do I talk about liquid loans? Because I think it fits well, as I've argued. We'll look at that at the end of the live stream, but I think it fits well within the Richard Hart ecosystem, and I think as a positive on many accounts. So that's where we're at on here. I'm very careful to talk about projects because I don't think Hexkins, Pulsekins, and all that diverting capital into the wrong projects is bad. But directing into the right projects is good. So I think that's the way I look at it as well. So there we are, 0% interest fee. Of course, we're looking for that. It's basically like a bank, your own banking, your own lending facility, never having to sell Pulse. Is a pretty good idea if you're going to go that way. There's many strategies of using the platform, but one of the main ones will be actually collateralizing your Pulse. So putting your Pulse in, not selling it, great. And of course, using the platform to buy more Pulse, maybe more PulseX, more Hex, some strategy, or just not even buying anything, taking the USDL, putting it into the platform and earning from fees, a nice passive income, right? Just year after year after year, ticking away. So there's different things, strategies there to use, but I think overall it's a pretty good good thing. And let's jump over to where we've got the top 2 new things have been updated here since yesterday. Remember, yesterday my referral link wasn't working. People wanted to use my referral link, and of course it wasn't working. You get a 5% bonus when you sacrifice. They have now fixed the referral link, so they now work. And of course, the referral button has been moved to the top here, and the sacrifice button has been moved to here. So this is the sacrifice page with all the details, and the referral here. So I just did a video earlier today, about an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago, on the referral. So go check that out. You can get yourself hey, we've got a warplane going over at the moment, so you can get yourself a 5% bonus from that. And I hope it's not the Russians coming. I hope it's not a Russian warplane. Anyway, so we've got the 5% referral bonus you get by using the referral link, and that's in the description below. Now that's a win-win strategy, right? So you get 5%, I get 5% of the sacrifice amount, and of course everyone must sacrifice at least $500 to qualify for that. So that's important there. And once you get a referral code, you can actually go and get and spread the word and get referrals from that too. So it's pretty cool. Not too high too. The referral's not too high. It's just about right. I like referral codes at around 5%. They're probably the right sort of thing to go for. So that's the way there. You can check out the video. We'll bring you to this page, of course, and you just scroll down. You can see, read all the benefits that you're going to get. The person that uses your referral code gets 5%. You get 5%. And of course, if you get over 10 people, you get 10% of your own sacrifice, not of their sacrifice. And of course, everybody must sacrifice $500 for those to apply or qualify as real referrals. A couple examples there. And then there's the button here. This is the one here. So you join if you hit the link in the video description, you get that. You'll come to this page, hit the join referral button there. And you just click I understand. And then you can read the notice, of course. And then you can add in your own wallet address. This is the wallet that you're going to use to sacrifice from. And this will become your sacrifice one. So if I do that, I'm just going to show you. I've already done it on this account. This is my test wallet. Remember, I use for everything. That creates me a private referral. So there's no link to your wallet. No one will be able to see your public wallet address. Just as a private link. And if you do get referrals, people that use it, they'll be able to get. They'll show up here, and the counter will go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Now the other thing, of course, is that you get 5%, they get 5%. So pretty much a win-win. As well. So pretty cool. All right. So nice one. Thanks to everybody that has used the referral link. Do appreciate it, of course. Help support this channel. And of course, we're going into more full-time mode in a couple of days' time. We'll be doing at least double live streams on here and covering a lot of cool topics. And of course, lifting the game a lot too with the visual presentation. So we're going to do a lot more stuff there as well. And hopefully that's going to be good content that people enjoy as we move into 2022. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so that's the one there. Of course, we've got the actual results here at the moment. So let's refresh these results and get the latest and greatest. This is on howpulse.info. I'll actually post this in the chat there because I think I have forgotten to put this in the description, video description. All right, so I'm going to hide the HODL Hex 609, and of course we're at $8.5 million US so far sacrificed. Pretty amazing. And what are we on day first 10 days? So 7, 3. So day 4, we're on day 4. 6 days and 7 hours to go until the end of the bonding curve. So it starts to go up by 5%. So $8.5 million from 2,310 wallets. Pretty good. And of course, if you want to see your own, if you've sacrificed, you can put your wallet in here. You can put it in here and then show details. It will show you the details of your sacrifice that you've done on your wallet. If you've sacrificed over different days, it will show up here too. And here's our top 500 sacrifices. This is the leadership board. And of course, this is what HODL 609 asked about. So this is the one here. We've got the Magic Carpet Ride team is number 1. They sacrificed on the first day. They've got an estimated 30 billion loan points there. And of course, we hit the I tag here. We can see all their sacrifices. In fact, they've done 2 more on Wednesday since we last saw it. So they've jumped up here, 167 and 39. It's interesting because they weren't going to do any updates. That's on the Binance Smart Chain. So they've just cleared out the Binance Smart Chain. They're not doing, as I understand, another update, another sacrifice until the end of the 10th day. And of course, that's when we're going to expect a huge jump in the sacrifice for that as well. So far, 8.5 million. The Magic Carpet Ride team, remember, we followed them in PulseX. Man, they had to do well in that. And of course, they are top number 1 at the moment on the liquid loans. They are becoming a force in this place for sure. We had that number 1 wallet that we saw do the Hex. I think this was one that sold down the Hex. And of course, they did $1 million in sacrifice there. They didn't put all their tokens into this, of course. Now, if you've got, here we are. Sorry, I missed something there. Let's go back to the Magic Carpet Ride team. And of course, we'll go to the liquid bonus. So we can see that they had actually sacrificed, everything had 0 cents. So that means that they want the points, the sacrifice, they want the points immediately when the project launches. Now, the project's going to launch maybe a month to 6 weeks after Pulsechain, right? So somewhere in that ballpark, they need to get audits first. They also need to have a price feed of Pulse from the Pulsechain mainnet. So they need a few things to launch. So this is not launching straight away as Pulsechain launches. So maybe a month after, something like that. Now, obviously, they've all got 0. So all these ones with 0 cents means that they want their loan points immediately. But this one here, at the bottom here on the Binance Smart Chain, 39,000, that's got 24 in it. So 24 means that they want to get longer pays better. They're willing to sacrifice, and they're willing to delay the gratification and get their loan points 24 months at the end of the bonus. So that's a 2.5 bonus, 2.5x bonus, and that's when they want to get there. So that's pretty awesome there. And of course, you can see their point bonus there, 1.5, and of course they're going to get 590 million loan points there. Pretty cool, eh? Their base points here is 393 from the looks of it. Yeah, 393 is their base points, and of course their longer pays better bonus is going to be 590. So huge upside for that. So cool. We're going to see a lot more of that with the cents. Now, if you put a sacrifice that has over 24 cents in it, it's going to be treated that you want it instantly. So it's going to be treated like it was 0 cents. So if you put in 76 cents on your sacrifice, so maybe 1,076 cents, that's going to be treated as 0 and instantly given to you. But if you do 1,024 cents, then it's going to be you'll get those loan points after 2 years. You get a 1.5x for delaying your gratification, as it were. So that's cool. We've got number 3 here at $500,000. So it's looking pretty good, right? Number 10, to get in top 10, you need over $100,000 here. And you can see that you'd get about 3.3 billion points or so. I mean, obviously, you've got to look at the other features there. We go to the top 50. You can see that this has actually climbed quite a bit. It started off at 1,000 2 days ago. Then I think it was about 1,300 yesterday. It's now at $1,800 to get in the top 5,000. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what they've got in their sacrifice. Just one. They want their tokens instantly. So they've got no longer pays better bonus. And of course, their bigger pays better will depend on how they rank in the top wallets there. We know that we've got 2,310 wallets. We're just looking at the top 500 sacrifices, I should say. Cool. So that gives you some idea. We've obviously got the totals tracking along here, and you can see the total obviously up at $8.5 million so far on day 4. That's pretty cool. We've got the accumulated totals here. So we've got Ethereum at the bottom here. Ethereum is at 7.6 million, and Binance Smart Chain is 963,000. So almost $1 million of Binance Smart Chain as well. That gives us a total of about $8.6 million. So cool. And then, of course, we've got the actual sacrifice US volume by time. So this is, remember, there's 3 components. Earlier pays better, bigger pays better, and, of course, longer pays better. The longer pays better is the new feature that they've added into the sacrifice there, unlike Richard Hart's ones. And, of course, it kind of emulates staking, right? So that's kind of the idea. And, of course, you can see that a good amount is up for 0. These people that want their tokens instantly. And then we've got people every single month, they get 6% more. So every 6% more every single month that they delay, all the way to the month 23. And of course, then on month 24, you get 12% longer pays better bonus. So it really jumps up the extra stuff there. We can see a lot of people going for it. This is not a small amount. This has been pretty interesting at the moment that so many people are going for the 2-year amount. So that's pretty, I think they're pretty good results. And actually, I like this chart. I think that it's a pretty healthy looking chart there, especially for the token release. I think it's pretty nice. So number of wallets per USD value, of course, we've only got the Magic Carpet Ride and the other big whale at the moment. It's going to be fascinating. And once we get to the last day, I suspect we'll get a lot more accounts up in the big end here that we'll just hold off and see what the lay of the land looks like, and then sacrifice. That's what I'm expecting to see. But we can see, got a decent amount of 82 wallets with less than 25,000 there. We've got 25 wallets with less than 10,000. So these are kind of the decent size investments here, right? 10 to 25 grand. And of course, then we get into 7,583, etc. We've got the biggest candle is just under 2,500, 470 at the moment, and everyone else is just smaller here. And you can see under $250 is this candle here, and there's 370 wallets there. So you're getting a bit of a mixed bag in there. Hey, will these guys, will there be extra airdrops in this program? We don't know. No work expectation of others, I guess, is the same price. Will they have some special airdrops? Will we get some special airdrops on PulseChain, PulseX as Genesis holders? I mean, it's always possible. Hex certainly got some very handsome airdrops during the boom. Obviously, the market was rallying up into a bull market, and there was some very handsome, 1 inch, a lot of the DEXs, Uniswap, all that sort of stuff. It gave some pretty handsome airdrops there. So it'll be interesting to see whether Liquid Loans gets anything like that as well. I just talked about that because I have heard people speculating on that. So it's just an interesting idea. Whether it happens or not, it's another question. Sacrifice points, of course, is we're moving along here, day 4. And of course, by the time we get to day 10, that's the last day before 10,000 points starts to rise by 5%. And so it's just going to get more expensive to get 10,000 points as you go up here. By the day we get to day 30, you're going to get 3,768 points rather than 10,000 for $1. So it does get a lot more expensive. So that's, almost 2/3 less by the time day 30. That's the last day. It's just a 30-day sacrifice. Obviously, the other way of looking at it, of course, sacrifice points, you're getting 10,000 per dollar, and then it just keeps declining. So it's just another way of looking at that. As you get to the day 30. This is actually a better chart in some ways. That shows you it's more expensive. This shows you that you get us getting less loan points there. So that there, folks, is the Liquid Loans results leaderboard. Very, very cool. Big shout out to Hodl609 for pre-seeing that one. Nice. All right, so there is, folks, and here is the sacrifice address, of course, the sacrifice.io. You can get 5% bonus and, of course, get your own referral link using my link in the video description. I'm pretty bullish on this, as you guys know, and I think it fits well within the Richard Heart ecosystem. I think there's going to be very few projects that directly link into Richard Heart's ecosystem, but this is probably the most obvious out of everything that we've seen so far, for sure. So very, very cool there. You can see everything there. Just follow the instructions. Pretty easy to follow once you read it through. And, of course, use stable coins. Don't sacrifice Hex or anything like that. And, of course, this is the official dress that we used to sacrifice. So very cool. There's a sacrifice launch video as well. Just confirms that dress there and it has the CEO and stuff like that on it. So that, folks, is the Liquid Loans update. Yeah, boy. That's how we roll. All right. So nice. All right. So that's cool. Let's get into a couple of comments before we get on to the next topic. The next topic is actually Hedron, which I don't talk much about. I think I've done one overview video, and I think we did it ages ago. We did a little intro video. Haven't focused on Hedron too much because there are pros and cons to Hedron from my point of view. So we're going to talk just briefly about those. We're not going to talk too much, though. And, of course, smash the bell. Smash the bell, says Matt here. And let me jump through here. We got Sandra says, you think that it will be at least a month until launch? So, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, Sandra. We're going to talk about that when I get to the milestones towards the end of the live stream. Joe Blouse in the house. Woohoo! Woo! A nice one, Joe. I like it. I feel the passion for sure. And Pulse777 says, great stuff. Thanks, Hex Token. What price do you think Liquid Loans could go in the first year, mate? I do not know, Pulse777. I haven't actually put a lot of attention to it. I just think that it's going to pump pretty well and do pretty well. That's probably a way I put that. Maria says, hello, everyone. Are we able to see the sacrifice amount in dollars increase? So I'm not sure which one you're referring to there, Maria. Let me know which one you're talking about, because I just talked about Liquid Loan sacrifice with the dollar value. So if you're talking about PulseX, let me know, because we've already talked about that. We can't actually see that. It is pretty much, it's almost over, basically. We've looked at the totals. It's basically the sacrifice for the Hex amount, at least, was, it's you're probably looking at about 1 billion and 50 million to 1 billion 100 million is somewhere in that ballpark for the total amount sacrifice there. And that's going to be probably about 120, maybe 122 trillion tokens all up for PulseX. I think that's what I worked out yesterday. All right, so cool. Let's jump over to Hedron. Now, Hedron is counting down. Now, I'm not promoting Hedron, as you guys know. I've done one overview video of it, and I've done a couple of little minor discussions in previous live streams. But this is coming up in 2 days and 18 hours where you can actually mint your Hedron. And, of course, that has other features as well. You can actually do that, of course. That's on the DApp page there at the top. Of course, you can also, there's these flow charts you can actually borrow and stuff like that. Now, my thing about this is that when you go to mint your Hedron, if you've got existing Hex stakes, is that it's could cost you a couple $100, depending on what the GWAI is. I understand it could cost quite a lot of money. And, of course, if you think about, if you multiply that by all the hexagons, if they're all staking, that's a lot of money. And so that's money that could have otherwise been put into into buying more Hex or something like that. So there is real trade-offs, of course, with this. There are pros and cons. Obviously, the other side, of course, is that you can mint your Hedron based on your existing stakes. So it's going to cost something. That's kind of a negative externality. On the positive, of course, is that it does help people with the long-term stakes. Obviously, if you want to get a stake out earlier. But then again, the positive, of course, of that is the fact that Hex is all about staking longer pays better. And of course, at the end of your stakes, if you're staking 5, that last couple of years, that's when you make mad gains in Hex. So there is that trade-off there. I do think this has a small market. I think it will have a small use. I think people will make some good money out of it, don't get me wrong. But I think overall in the bigger picture, I think that its market will be relatively small comparably. But we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, in any case, I just felt that, in 2 hours and 18 days, it will open up to mint your Hedron. Obviously, there's an earlier pays better to this. So if you get in early and do that, you can. But once again, it could cost you quite a few $100s of fees. And maybe that's better off buying Hex. And of course, if you stake at 555 your Hex, you're going to get mad gains in your Hex, right? Over 42%. And it's just going to grow. And as I said, in a couple of years' time, you could see mad gains and penalty fees as well in Hex. So just take that. There's a lot of trade-offs there as well. So it's not just simply about minting stuff there. Now, obviously, creating new stakes and tradable stakes, that's another feature in there. And I think that's more trickier from my point of view. They have got their audits out. The audits have been approved, so it looks good. But like I said to you, that there is pros and cons. But anyway, it's up to you what you want to do with this one. And I just thought I'd put that out to you as well. So cool. That's my bit of a couple of cents worth on that one. Let's jump over to Rackham. Woo-hoo-hoo. I love it. This is our big whale Overwatch, of course. And I love this post here. It's pretty cool. So let's open this up. I actually thought they had this open up in a big one. Let me see if I can get that out there. So he's posted this video. It's got all this pirate stuff on here. And I thought this was pretty crazy. He goes, waiting on you, my man. Where he's talking about pirate of Discord Syndicate. Everyone is going to wonder what this is about. They should. Hex, PLX. It's like a time machine, only better. What on earth is he talking about? Let me know in the chat if you've heard any conversation. I have not. I just saw this here. Let me know in the chat if you've heard anything about this. What on earth is he talking about? But then he's got 12 people get to time travel. Say what? So does it mean he's going to sponsor some sort of time travel? Or is there something, whatever is going on there? I just don't know. But that's pretty crazy stuff. I love this guy. He's so good. How many big, one of the world's biggest venture capitalists, that's what his goal is. He's pretty big already. And of course, he is a heavyweight in the Hex Pulsechain, PulseX ecosystem, obviously being at the top of the PulseX Sacrifice, pretty badass. So what is he talking about here? Pretty exciting to see that. Roger says, I'm sacked out, says Roger. Yeah. Maria says, thank you. Yes, I meant PulseX. Can we see the amount of increase on PulseX, or have both PulseX and PulseLead stop tracking? They've stopped tracking there, Maria, on the volume multiplier. So since day 54. But it's not going to change too much. There's definitely sacrifices going in there. But yeah, that figure, that 1 billion, 50 million to 1 billion, 1.1 billion, that somewhere in that ballpark there, that's not changed. That's not going to change. So it was pretty awesome, right? Pretty successful. Dingo Wolf says, hi, Hex Token. Hey, good to see you, Dingo Wolf. Yeah, good vibes for sure. Maria says, I just smashed the like button. Like it up. I like it. Pump it up. I love it. Pump up the jam. Pump it up. Everybody, and something like that. All right, so Brandon Scott, great time to be buying Hex. Keep in the mind the fork is happening. It's 8 cents Hex at the moment. Crazy. It is crazy. Good point, Brendan. Man, oh man, like I said today in the daily video, what a great time to pick up some Hex. Hey, maybe the price falls a little bit. As I said, it's possibly the next support line is 12 cents, somewhere in that ballpark. Obviously, you're going to pick up a lot more Hex, but the fact is, even now is a really good time to pick up Hex, right? So, man, oh man, what a good price. And somebody left a comment on my channel saying, Hex is never going to see over 20 cents again. And I said, well, that's just crazy. We got Pulsechain coming. Are you kidding me? That's just like insanity. You would have to have a drop. The market would have to completely wipe themselves out. Something like that to happen. This is the crazy stuff. Hey, we got Crypto Heartbeat in the chat. Woo! Hit the like. Hey, good to see Crypto Heartbeat in the chat. And keep loving his channel with all those interviews. Man, oh man. Isn't it wonderful? We've got so many content creators in the space covering, the big issues, the politics. We've got channels covering interviews with people, Crypto Heartbeats. We've got channels doing a lot of charting and pricing analysis. We've got channels doing hardcore data stuff, more just getting to the gritty, like this channel perhaps. You've got just so much stuff that anybody can watch whatever they want, whatever fits their preference. Pretty cool. We've got a lot more female content creators now. I really encourage them out there. Just get out there and do that. It is really, really getting good, folks. And of course, when Pulsechain blows up, man, it's going to be so fast and grow so big. It's going to be what's going to be like. Have you ever seen those foam bombs? They put those chemicals in, they blow up out like that. It's going to be like that. It's going to be like that foam bomb. In fact, I should do a short video with the foam bomb and show you how the explosive it's going to be when Pulsechain launches and that bridge opens up. It's going to be insane in the membrane for sure. This is the quiet time. This is the time to pick up your Hex, baby. Yeah, accumulate. You want a cheaper Hex, the price, you got it. So don't cry about it when the price turns around, because the whales will move at some stage. They'll say, okay, a lot of the plebs have gone, and it's time for us to accumulate. And of course, they're going to get the double copies as well. So they're playing for position. Nice. All right. So Pulse77 says, hey, Bud, what is the web address for the Liquid Loan Sacrifice leaderboard? Can you please put it in your video link? Yeah. Okay, I'll do that. Let me just jump back to this one. I'll paste it in the chat so you can see that, but I'll put it in the video description too. I was supposed to do this yesterday, so I apologize. So there it is there, folks. Bam. That is the Liquid Loans one if you want to check that out. We got to Pulse77 says, Crypto Heartbeat is a rock star and seems just like a nice bloke like you, mate. Hey, that is so true, Pulse777. And Roger Mo says, Heartbeat done. Nice one, Roger. And thanks for the link, says Hodl609. No, you're welcome. And Sandra's in the house. Happy birthday, Crypto Heartbeat. Hey, happy birthday, Crypto Heartbeat. Apparently it's your birthday. So a big happy birthday to you and to Crypto Heartbeat out there. Don't forget, everybody jump over to Crypto Heartbeat's channel and give him our old happy birthday in the comment section. That would be pretty cool. Prozology says the quiet before the storm. It is absolutely that situation. And that's what catches a lot of retail off guard, is because that happens, right? Roger Moses says debate going to be awesome. RH will crush it, says Roger Moses. Yeah, absolutely. So that debate coming up here, that's going to be awesome. And we're looking forward to that for sure. All right, so no one seems to know anything about this little bit of riddling going on with Rack and Rochelle, but this looks like a lot of fun. This guy is so awesome. He is a cool guy. All right, let's jump over to the Hex scale. We're waiting for this to come out soon, folks. Full website coming soon. This is the Kinetics one with whales only and the rest of the team. I think Cabana Crypto might be involved with this too, but this is pretty cool. And this is going to be once they get, I think it's their PPA, full signed off, they'll be able to that's like an investor disclosure. They'll be able to get the funds in and buy Hex and stake 5555. So if you think this price is going to stay around for long, when you've got big entities coming in like this, folks, you're kidding yourselves. It is going to be crazy. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, so that's coming up, and I love this website. I just keep looking at it forever. Just keep looking. I get lost in this thing. It's almost therapeutic. As Matty Allen would say, it's psychologically uplifting. It's crazy. It makes me feel the FOMO even more. So yeah, this is going to be permanently buying and staking 5555. It's just crazy good stuff. It really is great. So that is looking good there, folks. I'll just leave that there for a second while I read the comments. And it's now says he should get a wrench for his birthday. Just saying, man, it's now is like the wrench giver. I don't think he needs a wrench. He's so busy with content creation. It is crazy. It is crazy. So nice. All right, let's jump over there. We got that. Let's post that. Here we go. Bam. All right, CHB is a moderator. Woohoo! We've got our chief designer. It's now. I couldn't resist. So Matt and Barley's in there as well. And happy birthday. This is the birthday present for sure. Crypto says it's not my birthday, but happy that we hit 1,000 in the Compassion Cartel tonight. Oh, well done. All right, so that's the other big thing. Crypto Heartbeat is doing a lot of stuff for paying it forward, for helping others, and so get on board with that. I think it's got ways of doing that. So go check out, if you haven't already, Crypto Heartbeat stuff about that community giving and supporting and stuff like that. So nice. Very cool. Often the times when you're doing a lot of content creating, you don't actually get to see certain content creators. So I go to certain places, but man, oh man, it is good to see that happening. Sophia says, hello, everybody. Hey, Sophia, good to see you. And welcome. And it's Nana says, I know that was just funny with you, Hex Token. Oh, was it? Nice one. Good one. All right. So J-Pon says, yeah, boy. Hey, J-Pon. I love it. I like awesome stuff. So let's jump over, folks. This is the end game. This is what we're after. This is how we roll. This is what we're doing. We are this. If anything was ever the Ethereum killer, it is what Richard Hart is building. And doesn't it look beautiful? So here is Vitalik's ETH system over here with terrible gas fees, with a lot of projects just struggling, metaverses, stakings, you name it. They're on here. They're struggling. GameFi, you name it. They struggle with the fees. You just can't do it. And this is a big problem. And so what's Richard Hart's done? He's solved it all. And, of course, here we are, Pulsechain, super fast, super cheap, 4 times faster, 3-second blocks. And, of course, potentially up to 200 times faster with some tweaks. So pretty cool. Has all the upgrades, including the London fork. So we could potentially get benefits from that as well. So nice with the burning mechanism and other things like that. So that's potential there. We've got the PulseX, of course. The biggest yield farming in crypto history, deflationary tokens, the total supply and the sacrifice just going down with the magical buy and burn. How's it going to work? Could be amazing. Richard knows how to get that price chart going up the right direction. So it's going to be pretty cool. We've got the incentive token, which is going to be deflationary over time. So a deflationary inflation over time. So that's pretty cool. And it's not deflation like we've got total amount and decreasing, but the inflation is going to deflate over time. So it's going to lower its inflation rate over time. So that's one of the fundamentals there. Cool. All right, so we've got that going on there. And, of course, we've got the Hex over there. It's going to be super fast, super cheap to actually stake and unstake. That means we're going to be able to get all those people flooding on. They've been holding off on ETH chain, maybe the small retailer ones. They want to get on and you want to onboard. That's going to be no problem with Hex on Pulsechain. And people will be able to do small stakes, long stakes, and not have too much worry there. We're obviously going to have a Pulse with the 0.25% fee. On that as well, and potentially any of the upgrades with the London fork as well happening with that as well. And then, of course, we've got all the PRC20s is on there too. So that's going to be the biggest airdrop in crypto history with the PRC20s. Don't forget all the other contracts are getting copied over too. So that NFTs and lots of stuff is going to be a major boom there as well, which is going to be more valuable. Which NFT is more valuable. So it's going to be a bit of crazy stuff going on there as the market decides what it's going to be. But once again, once this all loads down, we're going to have our own exchange, our own network, and our own world-class savings product, of course, with a 38% APY plus penalties on top of that. And as I say, as the price of Hex goes up to the right, the penalties are going to go insane. And I think 2025, 2026 is going to be off there. I should almost get that thing like My Life is Awesome with the ping, ping, ping. I could do up and right, ping. Expo Pulsechain. Anyway, sorry, I love that stuff. It's so good. All right, so then we're going to have, of course, liquid loans. I think fits well into the ecosystem. I've argued many times because it's like your own bank, your own lending at 0% interest. You don't have to sell Pulse. It actually supports the Pulsechain, and of course, I think that's pretty positive. I think it will be successful. As Pulsechain is successful, it will be successful. So it's pretty cool like that. And it adds another buying fundamental, not only to the Pulse, but PulseX, etc. And with the magical buy and burns, we know that that's massive by itself. We've got so many good things pumping this thing. It is insane. We also have the US dollar war chest that may end up being a pumpamental. Of course, over $600 million of stable coins that could end up being a pumpamental. No expectation of the work of others, of course. We've got lots of stuff. We've got more social content creators just growing all the time. The community is growing. The virality. We've got new, as I said, we've got a big investment trust potentially coming into place like this one, coming into the fold. More billionaires, of course. We've probably got somewhere like 7 billionaires or so. It's going to be crazy as they start marching into this thing as well. And success breeds success. And that's it. So pretty much it. All the products are the same. So you've got to design the features that make the outcome more desirable. So everything's based on supply and demand. You need more demand and supply. It's that simple for everything. Gold, doesn't matter what you're getting, what asset it is. So you need more buying. But the way you do that is by designing the product to get that outcome. And that's what Richard Hart is so good at doing. And, of course, there we are. So that is the outcome we've got. Of course, once we open this bridge, of course, there's going to be a day or two to swap tokens. I say do that at great care because the ratios can be quite crazy and work against you, particularly what you sacrificed as well. I know that there's a lot of people originally, at least, wanting to swap PulseX for Pulsechain because they missed out on Pulsechain. So just be careful about that. Most people I know that have been around for a long time, they are in a position where they've sacrificed for both sacrifices, but they're just holding their positions, right? And keeping some dry powder to get any opportunities. So if they're after the markets have steadied out, and if there's any dips, typically they happen within about 6 weeks or so, then people are going to be trying to accumulate more Pulse and PulseX because remember the total amount is just deflating over time, and potentially PulseX Even if we had $1 billion of volume, that's going to be 600,000 US dollars a buy and burn. It's going to be crazy like that. So you can see all the benefits. Every other token that's traded on here, every other project that's traded on here, they will end up serving to push up the price of PulseX and Pulse and Hex itself indirectly. So it is crazy like that. The other thing, of course, is that all the projects that were on Ethereum that died, because the fees are just too much, like I said to you, they're going to be able to come and thrive on Pulsechain. And that awakens up a whole ton of phoenixes that are going to rise from the ashes. That's going to be really positive. And the metaverses, NFTs, you get it, GameFi, all that good stuff. It's going to be super, super good on Pulsechain. So it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And it's only going to be like the talk of the town. Like I said, it's going to take the rest of the crypto by ore. And if anything was ever going to be the Ethereum killer, this is it. This is it. So it's going to be fun as well. The final thing I'm going to say about this is the fact that this is all dropping pretty much at the same time, give or take a day or two. So when have we seen such a thing happen? This is all dropping in a day or two. The first time it's ever happened in crypto history. This is going to be exciting, man. It's going to be so exciting to see this all play out. And that's why it's so difficult to predict all the prices, because so much is happening. And hey, we've got hundreds of thousands of yield farmers potentially going to rush into here for the biggest yield farm in crypto history, particularly if many of them have got PRC 20s airdropped. They're going to be able to pull over the ERC 20s, put those in the pools, and earn even more mad gains. Going to be crazy. And of course, potentially the low millions of people over on ETH chain, not just ETH chain, but all the other chains, Phantom, Atrium, you name it, whatever they are, they're going to be coming over, and that's going to be awesome too. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. The fastest way to mass adoption is going to be huge through that bridge when it opens up. And of course, the Fiat Gateway is only getting bigger and bigger over time. So you won't have to go take profits out through Bridgeway. Maybe have to pay for some bills. You won't have to go through the bridge all the way out. And make maybe 8 or 9 steps back out through a centralized exchange, and then through a Fiat Gateway on the other side of the centralized exchange. You'll be able to just go in and out of the system here through the Fiat Gateway. So that's going to be awesome stuff, right? And that's going to be it's going to be so good. So anyway, this is the end game, and of course, this is what's happening. This is the year of infrastructure, as Richard Hart would say. And then on top of this, of course, is the roadmap that's going to be further down the line. A better MetaMask, aggregators, margin trading, all that good stuff come down. Exchanges, Fiat, stable coin, back with Fiat, all that sort of stuff coming down the line there. There's over $600,000 of stable coins at the moment. You could easily back up a stable coin like that. So there's lots of good stuff coming, folks. It's going to be really, really exciting. All right, so that finally gets us to the timeline. This is the last one. We're up an hour and 21 minutes. Woohoo! Doing good timing here, folks. This is going to be pretty good. This is the timeline. So we've got the minimum viable product here. So this first yellow line here is a Pulsechain Testnet 1. That went for 77 days. Our second yellow line here is Pulsechain Testnet 2. That's what we're currently on. That's currently running for 73 days. So we're only 4 days away for being as long as Pulsechain Testnet 1. And of course, we're waiting for Pulsechain Testnet 3. We expect that to be short, as Richard says. So I've got here at 2 weeks, which is 20% of what the other ones have been so far. And of course, we don't know when this one ends and when this one starts, but we know that Pulsechain Testnet 2 has been going very well. They've found bugs. They've improved the bugs. They've got the validators running hardcore. There's 28 test validators at the moment. There's going to be 33 when Pulsechain goes live. It's going to be pretty awesome. We've got the MVP product there. So MVP means minimal viable product. And we've got go.hex working. And of course, demonstrated that many times on this channel. We've got the Uniswap front end done, tick. And we've got the bridge, tick. We've got PulseX working in behind the scenes, tick. And of course, the validators as well, tick on that with the staking. So nice there. And of course, we've got beautiful stuff. So that was going to be gradually released, and that's exactly what happened, as Richard said. So that was very cool to see that delivered. And of course, we've got what's coming up is we've got the Pulsechain Testnet 3, where we know that the AMM bot is being tested, and of course on private servers. And of course, we're going to be looking forward to that, having a test run on Pulsechain Testnet 3. And of course, we've also got the PulseX incentive DAO. We've got two developers working on that. That's going to be cool too. Richard is looking at these in this order. The Pulse Incentive Token DAO is first, and of course the AMM bot second. No doubt he's probably just moving through those two things there as well. That is the two big things. And of course, finally, the distribution files for all of us who have sacrificed with no expectations of others, work of others, but that's coming too. So that's the big stuff there in yellow. That is the Pulsechain testnet and running up to the Pulsechain mainnet. And we've got obviously the PulseX sacrifice is about to finish. We're at the back end here. 2 days and 18 hours left approximately. We have got not long to go at the back end of the PulseX sacrifice. That's almost over. We're going to be in no man's land there. So we've got to have the gap there. We're going to have a gap. when is PulseX 3 starting? And of course, that's going to be pretty positive for the community, I think, when that comes out. Now, at the bottom, of course, we've talked about Hex Scale. We're waiting to get some news around that, but that must be very close. They said they've got pretty much one thing to do around the PPA, I think it was. So that's all. We've got Fun and Jim doing all his awesome stuff, dealing with people with high net worth, the high millions, the billionaires, doing his great stuff there. Also supporting this Twitter room spaces as well that's on at the moment. 96 hours of social promotion and discussion. And of course, we've got the big meeting with the big debate between Peter Schiff and Rich on the 23rd, looking good, and potentially Kiyosaki and other very wealthy and big influencers there as well, going to be in the mix. So looking forward to that. Also, there's some unknown investment vehicles as well, as Richard had said on the 10th of January. There's other entities working to build on Pulsechain. We know there's going to be a lot of DeFi coming onto Pulsechain, a lot of GameFi, a lot of NFTs, all that sort of stuff come in there as well. Obviously, Gerardo recently announced his NFT fork of OpenSea, that he's working with a team that's already doing that. So there's lots of different things coming to go onto the platform. If you build it, they will come, right? You need users going on top of this platform. So the more the merrier. And of course, that means we're going to get a lot of projects thrown at our face, and we've got to use our discernment. And as I say, ultimately, if you want to be a winner, stick with the Richard Harts as your core, and maybe get one or two other things that you like in the mix there. And of course, everything here is going to be serving to push up the value of PulseX and Pulse, and of course Hex. Just always keep that as the number one imperative in your mind. That is the main game in town. All right, so that's cool on there. So that's all the updates there. And of course, I've moved back the timeline here. I think I've got the 24th now of March as being the earliest date. That gives us a month's break at the moment between the Pulsechain Testnet 2 and the Go Mainnet. That's my earliest date now. And of course, we've got about a week gap here between Pulsechain Testnet 3. This is just an estimate when it might start in early March. And if it lasts for 2 weeks, that's going to finish there around about the 17th, 18th. Obviously, this is going to adjust as we get more information, but it's kind of my fitting at the moment. It feels like a good fit. And of course, just my estimation, only my opinion. And of course, then a week later with the earliest date for the mainnet. So that's kind of the earliest date, the 24th of March for me now. And of course, this could easily slip into April. So this is just based on the information at hand and how things are going. So hopefully that helps you see the big picture all in one space. I like it. That's the way I like to see things, just everything in one space. And of course, it's great to have that visual stuff there. So cool. All right, so that's the end, folks. I've gone through 10 topics, crazy stuff. So that is a lot of fun for sure. Let me go into the chat and let's wrap this live stream up as we go. So I'm not sure how far back I got behind though. It feels like a while there. Yeah, long. We got Sophia in the house. How much did OA sacrifice and a PLSX? So yeah, about $49.3 billion worth, which is 3.8 billion Hex, and of course ended up with about 85% or 86% of the total supply at this stage. Sophia. Sandra says, whoops, I thought it was today. Just your favorite. Oh, it's 22nd of February. Yeah, Sandra. Hey, you led us astray. But anyway, happy birthday to Crypto Heartbeat, whenever it is. It's not his birthday yet, but a big shout out to Crypto Heartbeat, that's for sure. I'm sure he can take a bit of sense of humor there. Matt and Barley says, I wonder if BitBoy is in the chat somewhere. Do you think so? Where's BitBoy? So very, very cool. Hey, it's good to see BitBoy changing his direction of his show. A big shout out BitBoy for doing that. I think that's pretty neat. Lurkin says it's now. Lurkin. Hodl says, nice, 1007 now. 1007. Not sure what that's about, but cool. Tara says, I believe BitBoy and George both sacrificed for PulseX. Yeah, they won't talk about it. I believe Richard Hart said they sacrificed, if I remember correctly, on a live stream a week or two ago. Yeah, I understand that's true too. But when Pulsechain comes out, they'll be talking about it, Tara. And of course, they got about 1.3 million subs. So they're going to definitely be talking about their own investments when that comes out. Francis says, Hex can. Hodl says, I don't think George did. If he did zero integrity based on how much he was dumping on RH. RH is clearly getting more love from BitBoy crew. He did well on the other day on the show. Yeah, he got the top points, didn't he? What is it, 18 points or something? He ended up just pipping up BitBoy on that. That was all a good bit of good. It's good to see them getting on better, right? And the walls are coming down, as I said. 2.3 years down the Hex journey. Hex has already proven itself that it's here to stay, and it's only getting bigger. All right, it's only getting bigger. So it's all the haters are slowly falling over like dominoes. Boom, 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 boom. Woohoo, says Easy. And Morris says liquid loans looks good. I think so too, Morris. I think it fits well in the ecosystem, as I said. Tara says, I remember Richard had George's picture up on screen when he said it. Oh, really? And Hodl says that it will require the community to educate the projects that died on ETH. That's true. And I'm going to be doing a lot of videos, folks, in the next week around all the new projects coming on. So I'm going to try and help out by getting the virality of those projects. So they're coming. That is one of my big video plans, is to start promoting Pulsechain to the other communities. So you're going to see a lot more videos around that. So yeah, it's going to come out because I definitely think that's a very big thing. Community is a big role in growing the community, right? That makes sense. He says, smash the likes, smash them, Hulk smash. And it's now, it says stake Hex to no stress. That's right. So stake it and relax in the Hex, that's for sure. Tierra says also Carl the mod mood dude. And Roger Moses, Roger Moses says, I see BitBoy warming to the project. I think so. And when it launches, of course, he's going to be talking about it nonstop, right? He's going to be talking about it nonstop. Once you're invested in it, you're going to be talking about it big time. This Nano says it's funny the first way. And what else we got going there? Let me just scroll down here. Prana Ilm's in the house. Hey, Prana, we're not worthy, Prana. We're not worthy. Great to see Prana in the house. I finally caught one of your live streams, Hex streams. Nice there, Prana. Great to have you in the chat. Prana is awesome. Let me just find Prana's name there. Hey, we gave out a mod to Crypto Heartbeat, who is awesome. He's just amazing in the community. We're gonna get in here. Where's Prana? Just finding it there. Let me just jump up here. Prana's way up here. Let me just find, I think Prana, there we are. So Prana, I'm just making you a mod. Congratulations and welcome, of course. Prana is so cool. So there are 2 mods in a day. That's how we go. Jimbo6 says, have to go stock up on some popcorn. Says Jimbo6, Hex Token, you're the best, mate, and a gem for Hex. Much love from a brother across the big blue ditch. I appreciate that, Jimbo. Big shout out to you. Enjoy yourself. And Pulsechain and PulseX, that's right, Prana. That's what we're talking about these days on this channel. And it's Nana says, I second that. And of course, very cool. What else we got? Roger Moses, thanks again, Hex Token. Hey, you're welcome, Roger. And what else? We're just jumping through some of these comments. Jimbo Sticks says, not in the end, Hex Token. Hex says Francia. What else we got going? We got Japon with the emojis, man. That's awesome stuff. Those emojis look so good. Hey, if you want to get some emojis in the chat, just become a member. We've got Pulsechins, Rich Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club. So any of those 3 members, and you can get yourself access to the cool emojis as well as the cool symbol next to you in the chat there. So check that out. Sandra says soon he will be called Saint Richard. Lol. Yeah, that's right, Sandra. Richard's a great leader, great guy, and of course he's human just like everybody else, and of course he's pioneering, right? He's pioneering in crypto as say Elon Musk is pioneering in spaceflight or something like that. He's in his own field and a leader in that field, so it's going to be pretty good. Matt and Barley says, I think RH said that the Moon Carl and Ivan on Tech both staked. Yeah, I bet they did as well. So you see the growth and pushing down the things is pulling in all these big crypto content creators, right? So that were there back in the early days. I used to watch Moon, Carl, and Ivan all the in their day. I don't watch them anymore, but I used to watch them at the beginning, and they were great personalities, very exciting. So it's great to see those guys moving into the fold. As I said, Richard's going to, crypto world domination, and for good reasons, right? For good pay it forward reasons. So it's going to be fun to watch that play out. Woohoo! Says it's now. And what else we got going here? Just jumping through here. Corey Klein says, woohoo! Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night with some highlights. Yeah, good one, Corey. I didn't authorize that to Prana. Lol. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. It's now. I'm sorry. But Prana's got VIP access. So Prana has got VIP access. So cool. Matt says, yeah, we'll talk, and we'll probably get a good thing that we'll talk later to add that boost here. Thanks for the welcome. It's nice that you have these shows earlier. Yeah, thanks, Prana. I appreciate that. I know it's better timing for you as well. So nice. And it's now says, welcome to the Wrench Club, Heartbeat and Prana. Yeah, absolutely. And thanks, and lol. Nice one. Awesome stuff, folks. So we're up to an hour and 33 minutes. I think that's a good place to finish. And what a great show it was. It was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, like, share, hit the bell. If you want to get your Liquid Loans referral link, hit the video description. The link's there. And of course, I did a video earlier on that today, how to get your link activated. And so you can actually get that out too. You can actually get the 5% bonus when you sacrifice, and also refer that on to other people if you believe in the project, of course. Nice one there. I dream of Hex, PLX, and PLX, Jimbo. I think I do too. I think that's probably a good thing too. Sophia says bye. It's always good when you dream of good things, right? So it's not bad. But obviously, it's a real wrench fest in here. Just 2 wrenches. Oh, there's heaps of them. Oh, there's so many people at the moment. Yeah, sometimes there's live streams. There's not many wrenches in there, but today we've got a wrench fest for sure. Nice one, Brazology. Take care. All says Pranit. Nice one. And thanks for watching. Sure. All right. Thanks for watching. Let me post this in here. I'm trying to. Thanks for watching. All right, that's so funny, making me laugh all the time here. All right, so bam. All right, so thanks for watching. And Jimbo says, I know it's a nuts, says Brazology. Thanks for watching, everybody, and let us play out some emojis. If you're a Hex Token channel member, smash out these emojis on the way out because that's what they're all about. And I've still got to get a 555 one. Man, that's on the list there. Bam. All right, I'm posting that. All right, take care now. All the best. Hey, Hex is looking pretty cheapo at the moment. 15 cents, man. If you wanted to pick up some cheap Hex, man, 15 cents, pretty good deal. Very cool. We love you, says Jimbo 6. Hey, right back at you. Big love out for the community there. I know that's all the cool thing. So Sean says, see you tomorrow. And thank you, Superman Hex Token. I appreciate it. Bye for now, everybody. Take care.